research I did with my husband, who's heavily affected as I am. The only thing him and I differ on at some points of the Mandela effect is that he's from Norway and his first language is not English. So he does not, a lot of the spelling things and some of the American pop culture things are over his head. But there's so many things that he could not deny, like Volkswagen. My husband is a car guy and he's always had Volkswagens, and that's the main thing. Just small little things like that, and the Volvos. We went around a parking lot checking all of the Volvos and the Volkswagens, and so I've done research with my own husband, plus I've taken all of the notes that all of you have left on my comment section. I have 3 videos on the Mandela effect, and they are full of comments. So it's going to take me a little while to continue to add stuff to the list as far as effects that you guys found. I have so many effects now that I feel that there's no way that I can like completely get every single effect ever. So I just want to write the book as quickly as I can with at least 100 effects. I think I've already surpassed that, to be honest. I have them separated by categories like logo changes, movie changes, name changes, anatomical changes, geographical changes. So each effect in the book has its own category. So in each category I have the list of each one. And so I probably got over 100. So I'll just have to take some time and edit it down a little bit. I'll try to make it like the top 100 Mandela effects. Now each effect I will basically present one paragraph per each effect to explain the before and after changes, plus I will include any feedback that I received from all of you guys. I have the introduction already completed. That was a letter from one of my clients. I've also started receiving letters from all of you about your Mandela effect stories, and wow, I feel less and less crazy every single day. I mean, I don't feel crazy anyway, but to hear the stories of what's happened to some of you, and people that have sent me their stories have sent along residual evidence, attached photos and stuff. This is crazy. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for being so brave to share your stories with me. So the first half of the book, again, is the introduction of the letter from my client, how this all started. The second part of the book is going to be all of the different effects, plus about a paragraph per effect explaining before and after. I will try to include as many images as I can in the book, but with copyright stuff, it could be limited. So it could be more of a research novel where I will explain the effect to people, and then when you have the book, you go out and do your own residual research, because it can change. I could show you a picture and you could go and it's not changed in your country. So once I've completed all of that, I will be getting into the theories part of things, which I'll get into here shortly. And I will explain all of the different theories that people believe are causing the Mandela effect. And again, I'll go into a little bit more in detail on the theories, maybe like 500 to 1,000 words per theory. When that is complete, the last half of the book will be all Mandela affected stories from all of you. Now I'm wrapping this up really quick. I'm leaving for California in 3 weeks to go to my home and spend some time with my family. So I'd like to have everything complete before I leave the next 3 weeks. The last half of the book, again, will be all of your stories, so please send them to me as soon as possible if you'd like to be featured. If this Mandela effect keeps growing, it may become a series and I might have to release more than one, but I think this has to get out really soon. God, Universal Father, Papa Son, whoever you want to call God, he has me on a mission right now, and he's like, girl, do it quick because things are going to change again. So I will get into the theories now, but one last thing that I wanted to say. The person who commented and said that they were going to go around and arrest everybody who has the Mandela Effect videos. This person's name was USA, and their icon on YouTube was an American flag. All the people who wrote really crazy stuff had 0 followers, 0 videos, so I know they're trolls or bots of some kind. But beware for USA, and then the other one who was calling me a fake psychic and a witch was someone by the name of Hugh Jass. H-U-G-H J-A-S-S, apparently a huge ass. So, and he really was. But anyway, you can't arrest people for making YouTube videos. None of my videos have ever once said that I know what's happening here. All I'm doing is sharing some stories and my opinions and what I know to be true. So how can I be arrested for having a faulty memory? I mean, the type of attacks that I'm getting are a little silly. So once I get all of the information for the Mandela Effect book put together, I will most likely disable the comments on these 4 videos because every day I'm waking up to more attacks and it's just getting really old. I've got a pretty tough skin, but you know, a person can only take so much. And I do so many healing and spiritual guidance services for people on a daily basis that I really don't have time for all these distractions, especially ones that are coming from a lower negative energy. I get knots in my stomach the minute I hear a ping on my device and I know I have a new comment. I just know when it's something lower. So please do yourself a favor and maybe choose to pick on somebody who likes to fight back, because I don't like to fight back. And you won't get a fight out of me. I moderate all comments. So if you write a bad comment, only I'm going to see it. It will never be posted on my channel. I do approve opposing views, but I don't approve attacks. It's counterproductive. It has nothing to do with why YouTube was created. So that's kind of the last I'm going to say about the bad comments. So let's get on to the theories. Remember, I don't need any more effects from you guys in the comments unless it's something super crazy that you know nobody's talked about. The list is so long. I almost just want to sit and read the list to you guys, but these videos about Mandela Effect get way too long for my liking. Okay, so I'm going to get into the list now that I've told you guys. Last time I just gave you a list of the top 25. Today I'm going to give you a list of all of the theories. I can't give you every effect list because then what's the point? The book won't be so fun and exciting, and not everybody knows all the effects. So I gave you the first 25, but the rest will be a mystery. So let's get on to the theories. The first theory that everybody is talking about the most is CERN, the Large Hadron Collider. Now, I've also been attacked in my comments multiple times. I randomly said in one of my videos, they're trying to split the atom. Okay, they split the atom in 1917. I knew that already. What I meant to say is they're trying to search for dark matter and that they have been searching for the God particle. The scientific people in the comments are so mean to me. And I even said multiple times, I'm not a scientist. I'm just giving you guys kind of a general basis. I'd say something like CERN Large Hadron Collider, and I have clients on here who are 60 and 70-year-old healers that have no idea what I'm talking about. Or I have 16 and 17-year-old kids who watch my videos because they're learning something about spirituality. They don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm not dumbing anything down, and I'm not, deleting any info. I'm just giving it in a calm and generic way so people can understand, hey, there's this big old device in Switzerland that could possibly cause time travel, earthquakes, and plate tectonic shifts. I could just call it that. A big old machine. It's still the same thing. So, anyway, I just wanted to, again, correct myself. I meant to say that they were trying to search for dark matter and the God particle. And I believe they've already done it, and that's why things are acting crazy. But again, first theory that's causing Mandela effect is CERN, okay? Second theory, the D-wave quantum computer. This is a quantum computer. A quantum computer can virtually create things that quantum jump into the future. It can also hopefully make you quantum jump into the future. Again, simplifying what it does here. I'm not a scientist. But the scientific research will go into the book. I have notes upon notes upon notes about this stuff. But I'm just trying to be a real human being here. I'm not trying to be a know-it-all about anything. If I were you guys, I'd be worried if I was some science-y person that knew all this shit, because then maybe I would be part of their plan. I see some people on YouTube with Mandela Effect videos that know a little bit too much about science, and it seems a little suspicious to me. So I'm not trying to go there. I will put I will actually just pull the proper reference material from CERN's website and reference them in the back, as I do with all my other books, and take it straight from the horse's mouth, so that way I cannot be misquoted as to what CERN does. And I will do the same for the D-Wave quantum computer. It's very technical. I'm not going to abbreviate it right here in this video, but whatever ends up in the book will be the correct information. Now, the next theory people have is time travel. Have we time traveled? Have we moved to the future? Have we moved to the past? Some people don't know. Time travel is definitely one of the biggest theories. The next theory is parallel reality. Are we on a parallel reality? What this means is that we're probably still we're in our same bodies. Everything around us still looks the same, but we're in a slightly different dimension. Now, again, this stuff gets really metaphysical and high-tech, so I won't get into that. But there are layers to dimensions. We were only supposed to have, I think, like 7, maybe, and like 9 was supposed to be heavenly dimension, and now there's something like 10, 11, 12. They're ripping holes in space and time. But I'll get into that in the book. Now, parallel realities are very interesting, and they're usually work of science fiction, but I'm starting to believe that we are now living in a world of science fact. Now, the parallel reality thing, too, also is like you're in a world where everything looks the same, but things are slightly off. It's like the very first video that I made about the Mandela Effect on this channel, where I talked about Sophia Snow, the character in my book, where everything was fine, everything was normal. Then when she drove through this weird mountain range, she kind of drove through like a real high mountain peak, and when she went through, her car drove through clouds. You know, if you go high enough on mountains, the clouds are very low. By the time she came out of the clouds, suddenly everything was different. I believe that my client went into a parallel reality the way that she described it. So there's portals everywhere. Next theory that everybody is having about the Mandela effect is a pole shift. Have we shifted poles? When tectonic plates shift, well, that could cause our map to shift. You know how everybody's maps look different and geography looks different? Well, a pole shift can also cause the same effects. So I'm in Norway right now, and I'm telling you, it is like 30 degrees Celsius today, 25, 30 degrees Celsius, which is like 75, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's September 13th. The whole summer, we had zero sun, crazy rainstorms, and oh my God, did you guys see what happened in Norway about a week ago? 323, occultic number much, reindeer were struck by lightning here at a forest reserve in Norway. And this happened about a week ago. So this is the summer we've had. Now, all of a sudden, since I started making these videos, every day has been like roasting. I am sweating sitting inside my house right now. So that tells me I used to live in the North Pole in Norway. You know, I grew up in Southern California near San Diego, Los Angeles area. I'm starting to feel like the weather there is like the weather here right now. I literally live and am from the total opposite sides of the planet. My husband and my whole family in Norway were way up here at the top, and my family and all those who I love, and my children, everybody, they're way down at the bottom of Southern California. So why would the weather be the same? North and South Pole should not be parallel like that. Not in weather, anyway. So pole shift very well could be. The next theory that many people have is that our planet has moved. Where has our planet moved to? Many people believe that somehow in our sleep we were switched to a planet known as the 9th planet. Some people call it Planet X. Some people call it Nibiru. And there's one more word I forgot to add to my list here. Some people believe it is known as Wormwood. These are all in different Bibles, different Bible prophecy. And actually, Planet 9 is no longer even a theory or a myth. It has been proven by NASA. So you can do your research on NASA and Google it. CNN and World News never share the things that they're supposed to. So you really have to be diligent to do your research. And if for some reason internet goes away someday, I've been talking about this for almost 4 years now. If internet goes away, we need as many books as possible. So all of you with all your notes that are stacked up, put them into something, please. And I know they can change books too, but at least do the effort. Things can change. But Planet 9 has actually been proven, and people think we're now living there. Our sun seems more white and bright and hot, almost as if it's like a big fake light bulb now. It used to be yellow and warm and golden. That's why you called it the golden sun. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. All these things we remember. Why would it be a white sun? Now remember, these are all theories. I'm not saying I sign up to any of these. I'm just giving you little examples as to how they could be possibilities. Now, the next theory that I have heavily received a lot of comments about, and I kind of mentioned in my first video, is that I believe this, or that many people believe rather, I kind of believe, but many people believe, that we are in the middle of the rapture. Now, the rapture is a biblical prophecy that many people will be saved and kind of taken up by Jesus and held into his arms, or by God. And these are for the people who have God in their heart, not the people who say, oh, you got to confess it by mouth. You got to say there's blood all over you. That's weird. Blood all over you is weird. You guys, especially Christians, which again, I am a Christian. I cannot repeat this enough. I'm not a witch. I'm not a Luciferian. I'm a Christian. This book is already changing, okay? So we have to be really, really careful what judgments we throw at people. I had people attacking me for talking about past life readings, telling me that I was a sorceress and all of these things, and that I believe in a different God, and I don't. How dare anyone tell me what God I believe in? Spend a little time on my channel, flip back over the years, and see how many times I'm talking about the Heavenly Father. Anyhow, in the rapture theory, people believe that some people will be rescued, and those Christians who they call lukewarm Christians, who just have God in their books and in their church and not really in their heart, those people will have to stay in the old reality, and they will have to go through what's known as like the end times, the apocalypse, the New World Order, all the stuff that everybody who didn't have God in their heart will have to stay behind and suffer, and all those who have God in their heart are here now saved, and we're here to awaken the ones that just needed a little more help. But that's what some people believe too. Lukewarm Christians, again, that's part of the same theory, that the people that have been left behind, which is what some people say about myself and other people who make these videos, is that the reason whoever's left here right now and having Mandela effect are the lukewarm Christians, and that they don't truly have God in their heart, and that they're here with like a second chance, or like, hey, it's your last chance to do really good, so do everything you can now before it's too late. Kind of a warning. Another theory. We should be living that way every day. The end of the world should not be a reason for people to suddenly become better people. This is why we are human beings. We have to treat others the way we want to be treated. Power doesn't mean anything anymore. I think power is going away real quick. Money, power, all these things, they may exist, but they're not going to be what they used to be. It's not working for us, people. It's not working, clearly. Okay, the next Mandela Effect theory is known as the Great Deception or the Strong Delusion. Another part of Bible theory and revelations. Revelations is also what I remember, not revelation. If you guys haven't seen that change, let's see where it is. I always have my Bible by my side. It's so funny how people always want to call me a witch. I've been dealing with that for so long. Okay, this is weird. Oh no. Okay. This is actually even weirder than I thought it was. Okay, well, remember it was known as the Revelations of Jesus Christ, the book of Revelation? Well, now it's known as the Revelation of Saint John the Divine. I didn't notice that until right now. So there you go again. Another weird thing. Wow. Okay. Anyway, in Revelations, it talks about the great deception where Satan himself will try to deceive everybody, and it will be he will even supposedly fool the elect, which are God's children, the ones who have God in their heart. So the great deception, the strong delusion, could be being deceived with our eyes. Okay, it could start with really small stuff like being deceived with our eyes. Have a landscaper there. Let me just shut that window. Anyhow, it can start with being deceived by the eyes, and then if it works its way into deceiving your heart, that's what you have to be afraid of. That's the great deception and the strong delusion. That's why I make these videos so casual and sweet, because I don't want people to get afraid. I just want people to be happy and start living better lives, treat people with some kindness and some respect. This is why I do readings, whether you guys think it's witchcraft or not. I'm guiding people every day, people who have lost loved ones, people who have cancer, people who have lost their faith. And that's just my little gift. But all of you have your own thing that you can do, that you can be good at. So please, if everyone just started doing the next right thing every day, we will change this world. And that message especially goes out to anybody who believes in God and anyone who's a Christian. Do as many good deeds as you can. And don't do them for the sake of getting credit with God. Do them because it feels good. It does feel really good when you help somebody. All day long, I get emails from people telling me how much I have helped them, how I've given them their faith back. And I don't give myself credit. I'm a messenger of God. I pass on the guidance that He gives to me. Someone comes to me and they're suicidal and they're ready to jump off a cliff. And they say, I can't go to doctors, I can't go to family, I can't go to anybody. I've lost my faith. I've watched your videos and I feel like you have a direct connection with God. Can you help me? And God will send me a scripture for somebody. And I will open right to it and I will give them that scripture and it will be exactly what they need. And I don't need this book either because it's changed. I just use my heart and listen. When we turn off our minds, God is always talking to us. And this is not schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a mental, psychological disorder where people see, hear, and speak to things that are not there. There's also been many case studies that have actually proven that schizophrenia is not even a mental disorder, that it is actually people seeing into a world that others cannot see. Perhaps they're even more open. Again, calling everybody crazy is so much easier than looking at what's actually going on. So again, when God speaks to you, He doesn't speak in your head. If something's talking to you in your head, that's not God. He speaks to you in a tele-empathic way. That's the only way I can describe it. It's telepathically as though you receive the message to where you can understand it in your own language, your own words, and you feel this confirmation in your heart at the same time. For me, it's kind of like ba-boom, 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 almost like right in here, which is where some people say the heart is changed to. But you'll feel a confirmation that the messages that you get are true. You don't need words. That's why I get really worried about Christians that say, all you have to do is confess with your mouth that the Lord is Jesus and believe in your heart God has risen Him from the dead and you'll be saved. Well, you got to believe in your heart, but just confessing it with your mouth is not enough. It's got to really be true. People can confess lies with their mouth all day long. The only person out of this whole ball game that truly knows who has God in their heart is God. So don't go around worrying about if other people are saved or not. Worry about yourself. Okay, moving on. The next theory we have, theory number 10, is mind control or a psychological operation known as a Psy-Op. Okay, I have a whole chapter of my book dedicated to this. Chapter 6, mind control. Yes, people believe this could be a psychological operation where the government is targeting specific individuals, people mostly in the truth community, Christian spiritual community, anybody with an open mind, anyone that's kind of opposing science and government. And they believe that people believe that the government is specifically just targeting individuals like us or like that in that category with various things like radiation weapons, magnetic devices. There's all types of these really high-tech CIA tools that can kind of manipulate people's minds from afar. They're like a ray gun almost. So I'll get more into detail into that. But people believe that possibly the internet and everybody is messing with our minds. I know the internet can be manipulated. I said that from video number 1. But changing a physical Bible, that's pretty weird. That's skill. That's not a Psy-Op. That to me sounds like physical manipulation, which is more on the lines of black magic. Okay, now, theory 11. Heaven on earth, have we died? Many people believe that all of us that are here with the Mandela effect, that we died. Not died in a death tragedy way, but that all of our souls have ascended to heaven, and that this is our new heaven on earth. People believe that God didn't want to scare the poop out of us by suddenly moving us to a place that looks nothing like what we're used to. So people believe that he's changing things slightly and slowly and just changing the energy here. Some days I feel nothing but darkness, and some days I feel like, wow, is this the first day of the rest of my life? Energy is changing constantly right now. So are we on heaven and earth? Or are we in heaven on earth? Now, I don't think we're dead, that's for sure, because I feel very alive. I feel more alive than I ever have in a long time. Now, theory number 12, it's all just a hoax. We have an uneducated population. People don't know their maps. People don't know how to spell things. People don't remember products from the 70s because that was so long ago. Is it just a big hoax of an uneducated population? Perhaps. It seems pretty intricate to be a hoax. Now, one other theory that's coming up, people that have died multiple times, people that are dying twice, 1, 2, 3 times even. What is the theory behind that? Is that people are cloning and replacing those who have died with clones. If people have died and the world notices that very big important public figures have died, they're going to replace them. They don't want people to know that people have died. The best theory I have of this cloning one, my favorite anyway, is about Paul McCartney, aka Fall McCartney, or fake Paul McCartney. There's a lot of evidence that he actually died in a car accident in 1966. The Beatles went missing for like 3 years, and then they started releasing the weirdest albums that didn't make any sense at all whatsoever. Both John and Paul, I believe, were replaced. But anyway, just a little side fun cloning story. Please Google the Fall story. Paul McCartney that exists in this reality, you are not the real Paul McCartney. You're not the one who recorded Twist and Shout. And whoever's saying, "Hey Jude," that's definitely not Paul McCartney. Moving on. Okay, number 14 theory. Ooh, this one I like the best. Well, no I don't. It's actually pretty weird. I just find it the most fascinating, that's what I'll say. Okay, theory number 14 is that we are experiencing quantum immortality, which means that those of us who have the Mandela effect are quantum beings. We are what are known as ultra-terrestrials. We have some specific kind of blood type that allows us to be able to travel in and out of multiple realities at will, at whim, and help them. In other words, we've kind of earned some type of an extra credit badge where we're allowed to go in and out of different realities and affect them in a positive way. Like being an agent of influence, but for something positive, not for something negative. So, Heisenberg theory has a lot to do with that if you want to Google Heisenberg, and I don't mean the one from Breaking Bad. That we're quantum immortals. We never die. Our consciousness keeps shifting from one life, one body, one reality to the next. It's a very interesting theory. And the final theory that I have, number 15, is that this is just a big history hack, a divine treasure hunt, and the war of ideas. Now, really, those should be 3 separate ones. History hack. What I mean by that is that somebody went back and hacked all of our history. History books, physical history books, history on the internet, etc., etc., etc. History hack. Who done it? So that'll be number 15. The number 16, divine treasure hunt. This could very well be a divine treasure hunt sent by God. He's changing small things like logos and pictures and, spellings of things and songs. Nothing that's going to, we're not going to walk outside and suddenly people have feet on their head. That would probably freak us out a little bit. So maybe God is putting us on a divine treasure hunt. All of the things that have been Mandela effective that have changed, especially the movie lines and stuff like that, they're very cryptic and they have a lot of clues involved. I would really love if anybody out there has created like a Mandela Effect code, similar to like a McFly code or a Kubrick code I've heard some people talk about. There's one guy called Lift the Veil who I've recently found his videos very interesting. Super no ego guy, very calm, bringing the information. He's got his cat chilling in the back. But look up Lift the Veil. Vice did a little, Vice magazine did an excerpt on him, but he explained things in a very calm way, and he was talking about some of this stuff too. I don't know if he developed the Kubrick code. That might have been somebody else, or the McFly code. That might have been somebody else. But I just felt like mentioning Lift the Veil. That guy seems pretty normal and pretty cool, and we need more people on YouTube like that. Anyway, divine treasure hunt from God, leaving us clues. The war of ideas. That's my final theory, and that's number 17. The war of ideas. It's been talked about in the Bible as well, that toward the end times, it would come down to a war of ideas, where it would be religious ideas, who said what in a movie, how was this spelled, how did the song lyrics go. I'm sorry, I'm sweating so much, my hair is like freezing while sitting inside my living room. It is so hot today, I can't believe it. I'm really blown away by the weather. Anyway, the war of ideas is that basically, it's kind of like back in the Tower of Babel days when we changed our language and the language got confused and people got all confused and it caused a huge divide between humanity and all of civilization. So they thought, well, we're going to just climb up there and ask God what's going on. So they built a physical tower to try to reach him. People, we are too literal. Let's hope we've come a long way since the days of Babylon. No more Zion. None of that, okay? We have to be positive, man. Stick together. Don't attack anybody. Don't judge anybody. If somebody has a different memory than you, so what? Remember yours and hold on tight and fast to those memories because you don't want to lose them. The most important thing that we can do is never forget. Hashtag never forget Mandela Effect. Now, before I go, I just want to leave you with a couple of residual things that I wanted to show you guys. That Revelation thing. What the heck? The Revelation of St. John the Divine? It even has the red letters. That's supposed to be only Jesus talking. If someone tells me it's always been known, the Revelation of St. John the Divine, I will be shocked. And the last time I told you guys about the introduction to the Bible, I couldn't find it in my child Bible, but I found it in the Bible that used to be my father's that he passed on to me. And here it is, the very, very strange dedication about Queen Elizabeth. To the Most High and Mighty Prince James, by the grace of God, King of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, defender of the faith, etc. It's etc. in the Bible. Okay, the translator, okay, I can't hold it up and keep reading, but the translators of the Bible with grace, mercy, and peace through Jesus Christ our Lord. Okay. Yeah, Elizabeth's still here. So here we go. I'm just going to show up real up close this first paragraph. Pause it and you can read it yourself. But I will read it. I do have people actually that watch my videos that are blind. So that's why I talk a lot. Okay, I'll read just the first paragraph. It's so weird. Great and manifold were the blessings, most dread sovereign. Most dread sovereign is the name of God in the beginning of this book. She's talking about God. I'll read it again. Great and manifold were the blessings, meaning he doesn't have blessings anymore. Most dread sovereign, which Almighty God, the Father of all mercies, bestowed upon us, the people of England. England? Why not the people of Earth? It's even in weird italics right here. England. As if it's been added. When first he sent your majesty's royal person to rule and reign over us. So God sent Queen Elizabeth to us? Okay. For whereas it was the expectation of many who wished not well unto our Scion. Scion. S-I-O-N. Scion. Also in italics, showing it's added later. Zion is a place in the Bible with a Z, and it's nothing to celebrate. Scion? Have you guys ever heard about the Priory of Sion? Has a lot to do with that whole Da Vinci Code thing. Priory of Sion. Google that. Why is this in the book? Who wish not well unto our Scion, that upon the setting of that bright occidental star, Queen Elizabeth, of most happy memory, some thick and palpable in doubt which way they were to walk, and it should hardly be known who was instantly dispelled those supposed and surmised mists, and gave unto all that were affected exceeding causing comfort, especially when we beheld the government established in your highness. The government? Why is this in the Bible? And your highness, again, it's always capital letters here. Your highness. And your hopeful seed. What is the hopeful seed? Prince William? By an undoubted title, and this accompanied with peace and tranquility at home and abroad. It goes on and on. It's really weird. And then at one point it even says, oh, and by the way, we're going to go ahead and put together one more translation of the Bible into English, because I think that's what Queen Elizabeth wants. Like, what? I don't know. What does she have to do with the Word of God? Very strange, because she was born into a family who had a lot of money. It's crazy. Look into royalty and what they really do with their spare time. It's creepy. Okay, and my last residual evidence piece for all of you. Oh my God, the Capricorn thing. I had so many people write back to me and say Capricorn was never a sea goat or a mer goat. I've never even heard of that mythological creature. Weird. So my husband, this summer we were in California and my family liked to go picking. Picking is like going to garage sales, thrift stores, things like that, and finding antiques and old things and, you know, reselling them or just hanging on to them. We like history in my family. So my husband went with my dad and my daughter and my stepson, and everybody was going for a family picking day. And he picked out this book for me. Now this was in June of this year, June 2016. Now when I got the book, I don't ever recall there being a sea goat on the front of my book. But lo and behold, I went and checked at it today. Look at the top. That, my friends, is a sea goat. A sea goat. Not only is it on the front, but it's also on the back. And that's a super weird cross arrow thing coming out of his tail. super weird. It's like a devil cross. It's like a devil tail on a regular cross. Super weird. I'm even looking at Virgo, and it's blowing my mind because Virgo was supposed to have just like the cornucopia, and in a few different depictions of Virgo, and I'm a Virgo. I've studied this stuff like crazy. When you look at Virgo now, she doesn't even have the cornucopia anymore. She's also some type of water bearer. I know it's hard to see here, but she's water bearing. And that M with the 8 symbol, I don't remember that being the Virgo symbol. M8? She definitely had a cornucopia. The only one who's supposed to be bearing water is Aquarius, who's right up here, who has the water symbol. Why does Virgo have a water? She's supposed to have the harvest. So those are a couple little residual things that I found while just poking around my house. I don't run around trying to find this stuff all day because I already know that I'm kind of sitting back, buckling up my seatbelt, and watching to see how this will unfold. But in the meantime, I'm doing what I can. I'm not just going to sit back and watch videos to infinity and conceptualize and theorize for the rest of my life. I like to get to the bottom of things, and I feel like this was brought to my attention for a divine reason. So like I said, there probably won't be so many Mandela Effect videos. I promised to read you guys the Queen Elizabeth thing, so I did. I wanted to show you guys the sea goat. I did. I wanted to list to you all of the theories that are going to go into this book, and I did. And really the last thing that I would like to ask of you guys is if you have any more theories that I did not list. I listed, what, like 17 of them? If there's any theories of what is happening, meaning what's causing the Mandela effect, if you could please put in the comment section of this video the other theories that you believe they are. Please don't say stuff like you're all crazy, because we've already heard it all. All of us who make videos have heard it all. So please just try to be helpful and productive. Remember, I moderate all comments. So if you say something negative, if it's attacking, it won't end up there anyway. You're wasting your time. Okay? Positive, honest results. And just because, and again, I'm not saying if you're not Mandela affected, don't comment on my video. Please do. Please say, hey, I don't remember canon being spelt that way. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, I've always known it was life was like a box of chocolates. Hey, I always remember that show called The Brady Variety Hour, or The Brady's, the series that came out in the 90s. That's a new one for me. There was apparently a show in the 90s called The Brady's, with the Brady's all grown up, the same type of intro. And I don't mean like some weird little spin-off like The Brady Wedding. They had a couple specials. No, there was a whole series that existed in the 90s. Again, it's not about, there's basically no right and wrong with Mandela Effect. It's just, what do you remember and what do I remember? So no one's wrong. Don't tell anybody they're wrong anymore, because they're not. There is no right and wrong. Maybe that's a big lesson of this new consciousness. Duality was what we had before on that old earth, right? Everything was right and wrong, good and evil. Well, maybe there's a little bit of a balancing going on in the universe right now. Let's try to be the catalyst for that balance, if we can. Sending you all so much love and peace, and we will get to the bottom of this. Ha det bra från Norge! Bye.